Hello, everybody. I am Jessica Koch, and this is another Profound Professionals, and we are live on LinkedIn. We're so excited to be live on LinkedIn. We have been live for many years doing Profound Professionals, probably about the last 3 years, but just the last few months have we been live on LinkedIn. So now we're one of the cool kids. I get to hang out with Mary Fain Brandt. She is a LinkedIn strategist and brilliant, and I always think that experts need to hang out with other experts. So you know that I do sales and marketing consulting and LinkedIn and social media training, but I have gotten the opportunity to collaborate with some of the most brilliant LinkedIn people I've ever met globally in all these virtual summits. And Mary is one of those, and I just wanted to bring her to all of you. So welcome, Mary.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that we connected, and we've had a couple conversations offline. That's how you guys do it. You meet someone online, and then you take it offline and you have a conversation. And that conversation has led to opportunities like this. I love that you partner up with other LinkedIn consultants and strategists. Together we're stronger. We can stay on top of everything. We can share our ideas of what's working. It's collaboration, not competition.
I agree. A matter of fact, I got some amazing speaking opportunities that built me long-term relationships and partners from another LinkedIn professional. She had something come up and she couldn't make several of the speaking opportunities she had scheduled, and gave me a call and connected me, and away I went. And so I believe that should be the case in all industries. So let's talk about LinkedIn. It is moving, it is shaking, it is changing. There's about a million things we could discuss, but I'd really like to talk about any of the top things that are on your mind, as well as let's discuss the challenge with company pages, because it's definitely a conversation I've had recently with some of my customers, and I know you've been talking about it in rooms and circles with people with you. So obviously this is top of mind. So take it away, Mara. Give us some information.
Well, thank you. Yeah, LinkedIn company pages. Are they worth investing in? How do you get them to take off? How do you gain followers and traction? I am in a LinkedIn mastermind group. I'm one of the LinkedIn panelists, and that was today's topic, ironically. So we talked about, do they work? Absolutely, company pages work if you have a strategy. If you're just posting a few times a week, it's not going to work. Did you know that with the algorithm, that on company pages, you can post every day and it doesn't mess up the algorithm? Because on personal pages, if you post and it's like taking off, you don't want to create another post, because that first post has traction and you want to like ride the wave. But on a company page, you can post every day. So that's one tip. You can post every day. The other thing going on with company pages is you need to get everyone involved, and you need to get everyone involved from the top down. So the CEO, the SVP, the regional managers, the HR person, the COO, Chief Operating Officer. You need to have your C-level executives engaging and posting on LinkedIn. Now, I know you guys are going to say they don't have time, they don't know what to post. That's why they hire someone like, I always do this wrong, Jessica.
Or Mary.
Or myself. Or, a gazillion other people, because, I have a capacity to take on X amount of clients. I work with certain industries, but trust me, if I'm not the right LinkedIn consultant, or Jessica's not, we know someone who is. But we talked about things that make company pages work. One, the buy-in and participation from the top down.
Okay, so what does that mean, participation? So are they liking and commenting every post? Are they sharing? What are they actually doing?
They need to be commenting. They definitely need to be commenting. And the posts that are created for the company pages, I believe that the CEOs, it needs to be in their voice. Now more than ever, like, we have the smartest consumers in history because of one word: Google. Right? Google, and LinkedIn, right? You can research someone. And so brands nowadays, consumers, they want to hear from the CEO. What's going on in the company? So that's one aspect of it. getting the CEOs and the
Mm-hmm.
owners and the founders involved, sharing some stories. You know, how did
Mm-hmm.
they get started? They didn't just come out, they were CEO on top of the world. What about sharing some of their struggles so that they're more relatable to the
Mm-hmm.
audience? So I think that is like one bucket that is actually a really big bucket, and that's where you should start. Then the other part of that is asking your employees to engage and comment and not just put great post, proud to be part of the team.
Yeah, so that brings me to an interesting question, and that's a little bit controversial. So, hold on to your hats. What is it? Is it Wednesday or is it only Tuesday?
It's Wednesday.
Okay, I knew that. Okay, so it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week, and I'm going to stir up a little bit of the controversy soup because um, posting parties have been taking off like crazy, and pods and little cliques
Oh,
of people who are sharing for each other, and they are not really the platforms themselves are not a fan. They do not like this activity that's happening. And my question is, and my thought is, if I have a team, even if it's only 5 or 6 people, and every time we put the post out, everyone jumps on it and does a comment, that could be seen by the algorithm kind of as a pod because it's the same
but
group of
they're all in the same company.
right.
So it's
Well,
not going to be seen as a pod because I know other company pages that do
right.
this and they're having great
Well,
results
I'm
with it.
asking questions and just
Yeah.
fishing for food for thought because that is the challenge. And the interesting thing where the posting parties can mix it up, those could be all different people every single party. But where the pods, it's always the same, the same, the same. And that's the danger zone, I think, because they're definitely, I mean, I hear the word on the street. I don't do them myself.
I don't do them
I
either
don't
anymore.
run them, but I know people who are doing these parties and telling me, and I'm seeing because I know these people, the results are unbelievable and powerful. So something about that's working. Now, how long that'll work, I don't know
It'll
because
work until LinkedIn catches on more. Like they're starting to shut
yeah.
them down. And I know
Hmm.
that just the other day, a bunch of accounts got blocked. They didn't get deleted, but they got like stalled. Like they're not allowed to
Hmm.
post and stuff. So they're trying to figure it out. I think LinkedIn, if you guys have noticed, the algorithm, right, is all over the place like this last month. If I can just interject real quickly, when you see that happen, when you're like, one day a poll is getting 20,000 views and the next day it's getting 1,000, typically because LinkedIn is doing a bunch of testing in the background or they're releasing new features. And there's a ton of new features coming down the pipeline.
That's
But
for everybody. Did you hear about Facebook's big thing? It's changing its name to The Verge.
what?
And yeah, and Instagram
That sounds like
starting,
an apartment complex.
I know. And then starting tomorrow on Instagram, you'll be able to post videos and photos using your desktop or your laptop.
That
Um,
I did hear about.
and then the other thing that I hear whispers about from some of the top Instagram gurus is that Instagram's thinking about or putting together a plan, or I don't know, whispers, rumors. I don't own the company, so I don't know, but possibly are going to be paying some of their content contributors. And the fascinating thing is, I know of, and I'm involved in another one now that's a global platform called Display that they do pay the content contributors, and I'm making money just putting up posts I'm already creating for other platforms, putting it up there because they're sharing in the revenue dollars they're getting from their advertisers. And what a brilliant concept. And
Yeah.
I think these bigger platforms who are bigger than the smaller fish who are coming up with these cool ideas to reward their users and the contributors, because really without any content, I mean, what good is the platform if it just becomes a directory without the content? It becomes a directory. So how brilliant of them, the little fish, to think of this, and then of course the big
The
fish
big
have to
fish.
pay attention to what's happening.
Well, and LinkedIn's created their creator program,
Uh-huh.
right? And so I got accepted into that. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
me too. And so,
I'll let
um,
everyone know how that comes along because we're supposed to get coaching, one-on-one coaching.
mhm.
They'll review our content. So I've submitted all my documentation. We'll see what comes of that.
Yeah, yeah. I have been playing with that myself. So that whole creator space on LinkedIn. So it's definitely interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of it. You're right. I also like their mentor option, but I don't feel like it gets pushed to the forefront as well
Yeah.
as it could
No.
be. I mean, you just kind of like turn it on and say, yes, I'm happy to, mentor someone who needs information in my space. But I think that there's so much more they could do with that. I love the concept. I love the collaboration idea. But I think it could go a lot farther than it has.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. LinkedIn does a lot of things great. I love the platform, my
mm,
professional platform. That's where I want to connect with anybody that's watching. If we're not connected, send
mm,
me a message. If you can't send me, an email because I have my account like set up. It's protected because I get too much spam. But let me know that you watch this show because I really only connect with people that send me a message and tell me why they want to connect. I don't have that open network anymore. I don't want a network of 20,000 people that I don't know. Like that's not where I'm at in my business or my life, to be personal. Like I don't want that. I want to be connected with people I know, like, and trust, people I can collaborate with, refer people with, learn from, right? So
so what
anyway,
was your life before you were the LinkedIn strategist? Tell us a little bit of your journey of what led you here to LinkedIn.
sure. So I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad was one. And I saw the ups and downs, and it was great. We were doing great, and then we were poor. Like, you know what? I'm enhancing it, but it was like such a roller coaster ride. And I worked for my dad. He was a real estate appraiser. I worked for him for a little bit, and I was like, no, it's just too chaotic for me. So I liked, my 9 to 5, 7 to 4, whatever you want to call it, job. I knew what I was going to bring home. I had my vacation times, and I'm an executive assistant by trade. So I worked at a
Mhm.
law school, and then I worked at a private school in La Jolla, California. And then my mom got sick.
Mm.
I think it was like 2012. Yeah, it was 2012. She'd been showing some signs of dementia. And
I'm sorry.
long story short, it got worse. She had Alzheimer's. Let's see, went missing one night, and we had the
Oh,
SWAT team
that's the
out.
worst.
Thank God, friends and family that came out from Facebook posts. Mary's mom is missing. Get out of bed and help us look for her. So we found her, and she didn't become a statistic. And then I had to get home health care in to take care of her. And at this point, my job is like, I'm like frazzled, not knowing, just trying to keep my head above water. So my boss and I kind of made a decision at the end of the school year I would leave, which was a blessing because I was really burnt out on that job. I thought I was going to work there forever. But when you do something, you can do it in your sleep, it becomes boring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person who likes repetition. When something becomes repetitive and it's
Well, you got the
boring,
right business now. LinkedIn keeps
right?
you on your toes.
I know. Well, I'll check out because I'm like, oh, I can do that later, or I can whip that up, right? And so it just becomes boring. And so I really do have this creative side. I've always had it, but I
Mm-hmm.
never thought, how could that be a business? And so I left my job to take care of my mom. And I started a business not knowing what the heck I was doing. I'm going to write a book one day, how to save $10,000 your first year in business, because I wasted a lot of money.
Oh, I'm
Um,
pretty sure I wasted way more than that.
Oh, I wasted more than that, but that's just like, hey, I can save you $10,000 in your first, 6 months out the door of things that you don't need to do. It doesn't need to be perfect. But
Exactly.
that's a whole other show that we might have to bring some other
That is
people
a
on
whole
and
nother
talk about.
show.
But that would be fun. I'd be up for doing that show. But my joke is when I was in grade school, we had chalkboards. So if you're a lot younger than me, you won't know what that is. But you had chalk and you would have to write on it. And in second and third grade, I had to write, I will not talk in class. I will not talk in class because I talked a lot. I had a lot to share. And I talked a lot in my family. And I was always shushed as a child. Be quiet, Mary Liz. Be quiet, Mary Liz. Children are to be seen and not heard. So now I joke with people, especially my family, that, I get paid to speak. So that's my big joke. I get paid to talk to people. I get paid to speak on summits. I get paid to speak at masterminds. I love it. So when I left my cushy La Jolla job to take care of my mom, I started this business because I needed flexibility. I needed to create my own hours so I could be there for her when she needed me. And then she passed away in 2016,
Oh.
and I shut down, and I wasn't sure I was going to do my business. I really was not sure because I had 0 clients at the time. And then I had this nice conversation with God, like, okay, what do you want me to do? Am I supposed to be this speaker, trainer, coach, or am I supposed to go get a job? Because I could go do that now, right? I don't, and my mom's not here. I could do that. And he threw me those breadcrumbs that give you the sign, a client for, $100 session, $150 session, a $300, little tiny breadcrumbs. And that gave me the hope. And I think the motivation that this is what I'm designed to do. And so we rebranded and we came up with a LinkedIn bakery, serving up bite-sized tips. And that name actually honored my mom because she was this amazing baker. People would pay her to make cupcakes and cookies and cakes for birthdays. And so that was 2017. And I had started working with women who were looking for jobs. So I had started off as this career coach. And the one thing they all needed was LinkedIn help. They had no profile, bad profile that was confusing. So I kind of dove into LinkedIn training and learned everything about it. And it fascinated me because it was a professional platform. And, that executive assistant, very organized, color-coded, systems, processes. LinkedIn was more of that professional network. And I think it was just a good fit for me to learn. And the thing is, though, I like bright colors. I talk with my hands. I like to smile, laugh, and have fun. So my mission is to teach people that LinkedIn can be fun. And you need to bring your personality and pizzazz over here. And you need to be more relatable. You need to share your business knowledge. But there's a way you can do that and still make it fun. So that's my journey of where I've been. And now I help sales teams. I help entrepreneurs, small business owners, polish up their profiles, create content and engagement strategy. So, and brand awareness. Many of the people I work with, I'm like, what's your brand? They're like, oh, here's my logo. I'm like, no. A personal brand is so much more than a logo, font, or color. So we kind of create, that's the first exercise we do, is really like, what is your brand? What do you want to be known for? And then we build everything else around that.
I love that. That's wonderful. So one of the reasons I bring amazing industry leaders like Mary to you is not because they're profound and they're doing unique things in their space, but also because they're doing something profound or greater in the world. And we like to take this time. We're live here on LinkedIn. Everyone's out there doing the social media. We're trying to feature each other and feature ourselves and feature our clients. But I think it's important when we have this time and we have this stage to take a minute and feature a cause. There's so many beautiful and amazing global causes, but the list is so long we couldn't list them all. But every time I pull a guest up, I try to make sure that we feature at least one that touches their heart. So Mary, could you share with us your cause?
Sure. So recently I partnered up with Benavia, which is a local organization here in Surprise, Arizona, and they support seniors. So with the pandemic, they used to they used to have events and stuff, and they used to do all these house visits, and they really had to limit that. But Benavia, they help these homebound seniors by taking them to doctor appointments, doing their grocery shopping, and light home repairs, which I thought was great. Because sometimes just changing a light bulb, a senior can't do that. And so I interviewed 3 organizations to find one that I wanted to partner up with. And I loved what they do. They also bring like preschool kindergartners. It's that cross generation where the seniors are reading stories to them and doing crafts. And so I love that they have this community involvement and everything. And so we partnered up with them and donated all the proceeds from the LinkedIn Remastered class in August. So Benavia is here. They're also family owned, been around for a while. So I love finding an organization locally that I can commit to and partner up with.
Well, that is wonderful. And I am so grateful that you're sharing that with us because the other thing that I think happens that is the most important piece. I mean, obviously, their light bulbs and their groceries and all those things are valuable, but they're getting company. And loneliness, I think, is the worst enemy of any age. young or
They're
old.
isolated. They're not, a lot of them don't go out at all,
Mhm.
or they go out once a week.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's one of the things they do is the home visits. I mean, they had to
Hmm.
do Zoom visits during the pandemic, but they're
Sure.
back doing the home visits. And just sometimes the Benevia volunteer is the only person that they have contact with.
Exactly. I mean, even if
And
you're just chatting with that person while they're changing the light bulb, even if it's not there for an official just visit, they're still human. I think we're wired to need people, and to be with each other. So,
I
um,
put in the private comments, I put over there the link to Benevia if anyone
oh,
wants
good.
to learn about them. And it's actually, it's their 40th anniversary. I'm sorry. I think I said 50 years. They've only been around 40 years, but they are family owned, and they run, like, their volunteers. I think they have like 200 volunteers normally. Right now they're
Hmm.
looking for some. But like the employee to volunteer ratio is like this.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
literally run on the volunteers and donations.
Well, that's wonderful. So check them out, especially if this is a cause that touches your heart. But at very least, you could be a hero and help out just by spreading awareness. So share this link with someone else because it just might be the thing that they need to help them feel like they're on a mission of passion too. So everybody's looking for that thing that they can connect to.
I love that you do that too. Like, I haven't thought about asking my guests, so hope you don't mind, but I think I might have to borrow that, and let's get all of
Absolutely.
the organizations out there, right?
Absolutely. I kind of have a rule where we stay away from anything too controversial, but so I kind of pre-screen what my cause is because, I don't want to get social media mayhem due to controversy. But, I am open. Most of the causes we share have to do with, children and women or homelessness or feeding or education or, just something everyone can. I would imagine 99.9% of the people could agree on that it's a cause worth
They could
left.
have some empathy
Yeah,
for the
clean
cause.
water, good health, all the. There's just so many things, so that people can live their right to the pursuit of happiness, kind of thing, right? Their
Right.
right to the ability to live a good life. Thank you so much for everything you have shared today. And thank you, everybody, so much for watching. We always try to make sure we give you something actionable you can do. Mary gave you some great tips on things you can do with your LinkedIn and your company pages to make them successful. And it is my honor, it's been my honor to share and feature all the things amazing about Mary. So
Thank
thanks
you,
again for
Jessica.
watching. But before we say goodbye, I always like our guests to share with us one kind of little success tip that has helped her on her journey through her amazing business and life.
I'm so glad that you do this too. I'm actually going to share 2 books, and I'll be real quick.
Go
The
ahead.
first one is The Compound Effect. And the reason I want to share this is, look, it's a quick read, and my friend Victor sent this to me, and it's about tiny steps will move you forward and get you to your
Mhm.
goal. I think a lot of times as business owners, we're like, oh my gosh, I've got to tackle the quarter 3 marketing plan. Well, maybe you just write down your ideas. So the
Mhm.
compound effect, and this is in your life personally and professionally.
And upside down.
Oh, and upside down.
There you go.
And then this book, Profit First, is one
Ah,
that
this is
I've
even
been
better.
using
Hmm.
in my personal life, but didn't realize it. I always had buckets of money or envelopes when we go on vacation. Here's what we
Hmm.
have for trinkets. Here's what we have for taxi rides. Here's what we have for food. But you should do it for your business and set up your bucket or sub
Hmm.
account. And even if your profit account is like 2% of your sales, you should start that now. And
Yeah.
so the other day on my plane ride home, earlier this month, I sat and with my packages, I figured out what the percentages were. And I have that created in my bank account. And it just really helps set you up for success. So you might not start with, 5% profit. It might just be 2%, but you will start somewhere, right? And you will start saving.
I love that. All right. So start somewhere, start something, start saving. And Mary, absolutely, please copy me. They say the best form of compliment is when someone mimics
Ah,
something you're doing. So I must be doing something good. And the more we can get awareness for causes out there, the better.
yeah.
I always close this with be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. So thank you. Until the next Profound Professionals, we'll see you around. Do something, take action, be kind to us. You know how. Share, like, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.